Watch Megyn Kelly hear a bit about what Trump is like behind closed doors from a long-time and close personal friend. Guys, this is going to be a good one. I think you're going to like it. You know, Trump, as you may or may know probably, he is a very social guy. He has all kinds of friends from all kinds of walks of life, and it shows. So we're going to get right into it, and it's going to be fun. But first, do me a big favor here. Like our video and share it around so we can keep bringing you guys this great hard-hitting content. As always, Patriots, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
This becomes kind of relevant to your friendship with Trump. I mean, when he got indicted on, criminal charges for his alleged bookkeeping errors, that must have struck home in a particular way.
Like I said, I went to his trials, and we've been friends for a long time, and what they've done to him, you could never... I would never imagine it in 100 years that they could do that to a former president and one who's, running now.
How'd you guys meet?
We met at we met at a restaurant at first, and then I was with Liza, and they've been friends for a long time. And of course, Studio 54, we saw each other. Mm-hmm. So everybody used to go there back in the day. Everybody, somebody was always there. So, and I used to work also at Cafe Central uptown, and no matter what night it was, you'd see 10 actors there. Liza Minnelli and Bruce Willis was the bartender.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he used to make me 8 creams.
You're kidding me.
Before he was a big star.
Sure.
And everybody was there. Liza Minnelli, Cher, Peter Riegert, Treat Williams, John Goodman, De Niro, Pacino, Joe Pesci. Everybody used to go to Cafe Central.
And Trump.
People often forget that practically everybody in Hollywood liked Trump back in the day and also swam around the same circles of him, pretty much up until he first declared his candidacy for Republican president back in 2015, 2016. And that's important because I think, in my opinion, it goes to show that Trump, there's obviously something more than just himself is concerned with when he's running for president, because he gave up a lot to do so. So many friendships with so many people. Interestingly enough, he was friends with certainly the Clintons, went to their wedding, had donated to Hillary's campaign by his own admission. He really was all over the place, and he gave up so much. Let's not forget this plane. Trump is I'm pretty sure, the only president in U.S. history to go from a bigger plane to a smaller plane after coming to office. All things to think about. The man, whether you like him or not, he has sacrificed a lot.
So you maintained a friendship all this time.
Yes, all
He's in the documentary. We have a little bit of him. Do we? Yes, I think we do. I saw him. We don't have the clip, but I saw him. And he goes on and on about you and how much he likes you.
So great. I mean, I am so blessed and honored that he did it for me. You got to realize he's the president of the United States. He's the most powerful man in the world. And he opens and closes my documentary.
He's loyal.
So I am so, honored and humbled that he did that. And he's loyal.
So why did you feel it was important to go to the trial?
Because he was getting railroaded, and I want to stick up for him. I stick up for my friends, and I want to show my support and, support him. I mean, they charge him with all these, phony charges and everything.
It's so obvious that these charges against Donald Trump are phony. What's that saying Andrew Tate said? He said something along the lines of, first they try to damage your reputation, then they try to put you in jail, then they delete you and your life. And I think it's safe to say that's what they tried to do with Donald Trump, right? He was sentenced, for God's sakes. And, you had that whole very suspicious attack on Donald Trump by, a lone gunman, as they say. And by the way, I'm sure he was a lone gunman, but does that mean that he was just acting completely on his own? There was nobody behind the scenes? I don't know. Food for thought.
I think on November 5th when you saw the returns coming in.
Oh, I was there. I was at the...
Mar-a-Lago?
No, I was in Washington for when he won, of course.
Oh,
and I was just... we're all just... He's, as far as I'm concerned, he's the greatest president we ever had in the United States. He promises and keeps it. Mm-hmm. And he's just great.
You spent a whole life between the Hells Angels, not to mention the prison time, the boxing, the mixed martial arts, the bodyguarding.
Yes.
Trump's also extremely tough.
Yes.
So about tough guys.
I call him a savage because he is. any other president or anybody else who gets shot, they'd be under that counter there. And that he got up, he said, wait, when he put up fight. He's just, I mean, there's nobody like him. He's just so, nothing phases him. I mean, and they tried, and you know what, when I'm crazy, it gets me that people say it was staged.
Oh, it's infuriating.
And you know what? Corey Compatore lost his life shielding his family.
That's right.
The other two guys were shot also. And they think he's going to say, do me a favor, just nick my ear.
I know. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And that's how some people think, and that's what gets me infuriated.
It's such an insult.
It is an insult. And there's people still, a lot of them, he's doing, the first hour he was elected, I mean, he started signing the orders, and he's going to change this country around back to the way it was.
Let's pray he does change this country back to the way it was, because we need it. As far as this whole idea that, the theory was staged, I pretty much agree with them. It is a little absurd of a theory. I mean, just thinking about it from, like, let's say Trump and, this crazy attacker who tried to end his life had planned together, how would he turn his head at just the right moment and just the right angle and not accidentally shoot just a little bit too far? And then, I'm not going to describe it because it's going to get really graphic, okay? But you can take a slight breath while you're aiming down the sights of a scope. Too many variables at play for that to be staged. That would be just beyond absurd to stage something like that. It doesn't even make sense.
Seen like a big change from the Donald Trump you knew back in the day at, the cocktail lounges and the one who you see now?
Well, you know what? He's the same guy to me, but he's just so strong. Like I said, he's resilient. Nobody like him. And I love the guy. I mean, I'd do anything for him. But we've never had a president like him. And you got to realize, years ago, I never got involved with who was the president. Who cared? It wasn't until President Trump. It was the first time I ever voted. And I voted first time. I never cared before. And till the day he became president, I mean, all those other people, all those woke people, all those phony people out there, they didn't like him. But like I said, I never cared about who was president before. But
this phenomenon of people who didn't care about voting for president before Trump ran is not unique to just people who liked him and knew him as longtime friends like this gentleman over here. I have heard of so many similar accounts from people I know and talk to. It goes without saying, there is a star power to Donald Trump. He's got an incredible charisma. He's really good at reeling people in, making them care, making them passionate, and it's an amazing talent.
They talked since the day he became president. They have not stopped talking about him. Every day you heard President Trump, and everything else. But as far as I'm concerned, he's the greatest president we ever had.
Well, he obviously...
And he's for the American people and America.
And he's for you.
Well, everybody, that wraps up our show for today. What'd you all think? I thought that was quite an interesting story. It is fascinating to me how many different friends and allies Trump has made over the years. And you'll notice they're from all walks of life, right? This gentleman, for instance, was a bodyguard. Trump wasn't one of those snobs who only associates with certain people of a certain socioeconomic status. And I actually really like that. I like that quite a bit. With all that being said, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll see you again soon. God bless.